Okay. Good morning, everybody. Let's turn it round to us. Hello! We've got some blossoms in the background. Hi! Super ohayo gozaimasu. This is so early.
It's so early.
So we're trying to beat the crowds here today. It's 7 a.m. I usually go to sleep closer to that time than I wake up at that time. So this is something else for me. The humidity is strong in the air. It's definitely going to rain later. So I look like a fluffy squirrel, which is great because my hair is really fine. So it looks
So
more volume. It has more volume. That's great. So hi, everybody. My mummy's here. Hi, mummy. And hi, everybody else. We've got loads and loads of people here today. So I'm going to say a blanket. Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Good morning from Tokyo.
Yeah. Kite kurasatte arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much for coming. We're so happy that you're here. And it's our first proper, just us on a tour together. Going for it. The tea ceremony yesterday was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
So good. I'm so honored that your mum and you invited me into that space.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so lucky.
We had a great
I'm so
time.
lucky. So this is Eriko's realm. So we've got a mic we'll share between us today, and we're going to walk around and basically experience Hanami. Hanami is just appreciation of cherry blossoms, right?
Yes.
So you can do that as we're going to attempt later in the form of a picnic, or you can do it just by walking under the flowers and enjoying what you see. It's been raining and it's the early morning, so there's probably some little dewdrops. So I'll try and get some close-ups for you as well. And yeah, Eriko's going to be the brains behind it. She is the brains behind it. This is her suggestion. And any tips that you guys decide to leave for us, we're sharing between us for this tour and the next one as well. So thank you in advance. And yeah, anything else you would like to add or say to start?
Yeah, let's enjoy this moment together. You know, the gorgeous time of gorgeous blossom. You know, only lasts about a week before they scatter. You know, and dancing in the wind.
Yeah, they look so nice when they do that.
Yeah, they do. But yes, let's enjoy this beautiful moment, admiring cherry blossom. We're gonna walk along the outer moat of the Imperial Palace. There's a beautiful tunnel of cherry blossom.
Lovely. I'm actually really lucky because there's a few more days until they all start falling off the branches here. But I live in Kansai, which is about 400 or 500 kilometers away. So I get to go back to the start of even more in Kyoto, then Osaka, and then I live in Shiga, so I get them for a really long time.
Fantastic.
I'm lucky.
You're going to follow cherry blossom.
I'm following them. All right, let's get everyone to follow us, I suppose. And thank you very much, Dragonfluff Heather, for being the first tipper, I think. Abe says good morning to us. Hello, everybody. Let's go for a walk. Lovely. And would you like to say a little bit about where we are, Eriko?
Sure. So we are, if you have a map, you can open it up and see where we are exactly. We are in the center of the city. A lot of people ask me where downtown Tokyo is. It's a simple question, but it's hard to answer, you know.
There are many downtowns, right?
Yes. So the center of the city stands Imperial Palace. So we are standing on the outer moat of the Imperial Palace. Yes.
I love thinking of this as the center of the city because if you look on a map, it's just a big mass of green. So yeah, it feels like the center. If not downtown, the center.
Exactly. But most of them is off limit. So the center of the city is, you know,
it's like
not for us.
Haven or oasis, an oasis in the middle of in the city, untouchable.
So true. Yes. So this area is one of the most picturesque cherry blossom viewing spots. This place gets super busy. So we wanted to beat the crowd. That's why we are starting this tour very early. In Tokyo time, it's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
What's today? Friday morning. Right. And we're going to see a lot of people.
Yeah. It's Friday. Yeah, already there are photographers out and around here and people walking past on their way to work. But 7 a.m., the rush doesn't really start until about 7:30 or 8. So we're really here to beat it. We're here to beat it.
So many people have nice cameras.
They do. Do you know how much these things cost?
Fortune.
They are a fortune. I've heard of people getting either cars or cameras. That's how much money they are.
Right.
It's crazy. What a big lens he has. And thank you very much, Katie, for your tip.
And they have to keep buying new lenses.
They do.
But yeah, it's worth it. So now we are going to go into the pathway called Chidorigafuchi. Chidori is a name of bird because if you see the moat from the sky, it kind of looks like the shape of the bird. So it's called Chidorigafuchi.
Okay, Chidori. What type of bird is that?
The small one.
A small one. Okay. My partner would say a delicious one. He doesn't really care what size they are. A small one. Got it.
Yeah. So Chidorigafuchi is a pathway. It's about 700 meters, half a mile long walkway. It's lined with cherry blossoms, and now
viewpoint up here.
Yeah. The viewpoint is coming back where everyone is taking pictures.
Of course.
That's the iconic image of Chidorigafuchi.
There's the last of a magnolia tree next to us, so the smell around here is really lovely.
Yes, it does.
So good.
A lot of people in suits because this is close to business district.
So I guess on the weekend there's a lot of people wearing kimonos too.
Yes. Before going to the office, yeah, they hop in to take pictures.
Thank you, Alison and Arthur.
Kendall, so it's your first time here, yes?
So I've been around the Imperial Palace, but not to this side of it. When I first came to Tokyo ever, this is my 6th time, but about 3 years ago I came for the first time, almost exactly the same kind of date. And it was the first day, my 3rd day, my final day, was the first day of the nationwide lockdown. So I stepped outside on a Saturday morning and there was nobody outside. Nobody. Occasionally a couple of people, and no shops were open, and it was very, very confusing. So there was nothing to do. Mm-hmm. Everything was closed. Unless you love hanging out in convenience stores, there was nothing to do. So I found myself walking around a part of the Imperial Palace.
Can you spot Tokyo Tower?
Wow, look at that. Like a needle piercing the sky. Amazing. So
that's iconic symbol of Tokyo. Tokyo Tower, it's an observatory. It used to serve as
a radio tower?
Radio tower.
Radio tower. So I went in it, the first time I really wanted to go to Skytree because there was a very geeky Final Fantasy VII remake exhibition that was on there, but it was closed. All the museums were closed. Honestly, Japan was in panic mode. They're like, we're all going to get coronavirus if we don't stay inside. So they did, but I wasn't really sure what was going on and I couldn't read the kanji. So I went to Tokyo Tower, where I learned that it's basically an adoring replication of the Eiffel Tower, which I think is very lovely.
Yeah, from here you can see how the branches are just hanging to almost reach the water, hovering over the surface of the water, and you get to see refraction.
Lovely.
And this place gets...
Even on a cloudy day.
Yeah, lit up in the evening.
Oh, nice. I've seen pictures of that. And maybe that's what I saw my first time. I had to wait until the night bus, which was close to midnight. So I had to fill up my day with something. So I remember walking around the Imperial Palace. But I put stories on Instagram. I'd been in Japan for 4 months at the time. And my friends in the UK, they could not believe that my pictures of Tokyo had no people in them. They thought I don't know, photoshopped it.
This one is, maybe you can tell the color, difference in color. This is a different variety.
Is it from Okinawa, this type?
They are not from Okinawa. They are from all over Japan. This is weeping cherry tree, and they tend to have darker pink petals. And, can you see the ruffled edge petals?
Lovely.
Look at this bud.
So cute.
Opening up. It's so cute. It almost looks like
I love how they're darker.
Rose.
It does look like a
Yeah.
rose, yeah.
When the buds opening up.
And it looks, the color looks how people always expect cherry blossoms to be, I think.
Yeah, that's so true, Kendall. A lot of people imagine cherry blossom to be very pink.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Where's the color gone?
So this is where the pathway begins.
Elizabeth says, Kendall's going to touch one soon. You're not wrong, you're not wrong.
Look at the tree in
It's
front
just
of us.
amazing. So lovely. There's a very sweet little blossom just in the middle of the branch over here. Hey, Eriko, I feel like we're presenting a morning radio show.
Kendall has very artistic eye.
I think we can get a close-up on some blossoms here. Just in this little area. They're very, very pretty. Let's get a close-up. Oh. So lovely.
The center of the flower is a little bit pink.
And you're right, I do want to touch them. They look like big, fluffy marshmallow pom-poms.
Yeah.
Lovely. The branches look like Japanese paintings.
Do you want to go?
I guess so. Should we go limbo mode? Is it too early for limbo?
I'm going to film you then.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Look how big this tree is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was fantastic. You showed it off.
If it was much lower, we would have had a big problem.
You see how the branches supported.
Yeah. I've seen trees in Australia that are the same as this, actually. I've seen pictures online. So lovely. Oh, look at this.
So this type of cherry blossom come in cluster. Look at this, pom-pom
So
cherry.
beautiful. Like a bunny tail.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of limbo trees.
That's magnolia over there, the pink one.
Yeah, amazing. I've seen some purple ones, pink ones, and white ones, but they're just starting to fall off the trees.
Exactly.
Did you know that the deer in Nara Park love eating magnolia leaves?
I had no idea.
It's so cute. You can pass them magnolia leaves. Yeah, and they've got a crunch as if we were eating lettuce. It's very sweet.
I love magnolia. They come in bloom right before cherry blossom.
In the UK, some people have a magnolia tree outside the front of their house, and it's just lovely.
Oh, wow.
It can, it makes your favorite route to work, just walking past the magnolia trees.
The sun is there. It was supposed to rain, so I'm so glad it's not raining.
Yeah.
We are very lucky.
The forecast said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rain, 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 rain.
Right.
So we're very lucky. It will rain tonight, but I think we might be good for our picnic of sorts.
Yes.
A little wet underfoot, but still good.
So a lot of people want to come to Japan to admire cherry blossom, right? Mm-hmm. But it's very hard to time your visit because
it's very hard. My friends are very lucky. I've got 4 friends from the UK here right now, so they've really enjoyed it for sure.
Right, and when they fully open up like this, they are very fragile. So if the weather is unfriendly, they can just
no touching.
They don't last long, but that's why we love
it's the fleeting nature of it, right? The reminder that the same happens in life too. It's very poetic, I think.
Yeah, beautifully said.
So I saw online yesterday, there are a few spots around Tokyo actually that you can only visit the cherry blossoms if you're a foreign person or by reservation. But because they know so many people have spent so much money to travel to Japan, they're making sure that the people who came to see it all, they get to see it all. But I guess Japanese people have had it, I'm lucky. We've had it all to ourselves for 3 years. So yeah, I thought that was nice.
We can share that.
We were saying about the tea ceremony yesterday, like showing the artful side of the bowl to your guest. I thought it was very sweet. Like you might complain about it. Why can't Japanese people see it? We live here. But it's very nice. Like, this is our country. We want you. You came so far. So, otsukaresama desu and arigatou gozaimasu. And we'll allow you to see it.
Look at that. This slope of the moat. This slope is covered with this tiny purple flowers.
Maybe little irises?
I'm not sure what they are.
I'm sure someone here can help us.
If we have a closer look, yeah.
Jenny has asked if she's mentioned that someone needs to go to the deer park again soon. I think I'm going on Sunday. I'll see what I can do for you guys. As in go to the park in Nara. So I'll be adding a tour for that, I think.
Cool.
I'm planning it.
You see all the poles, so that's got lights on the top. So all the trees will be lit up in the evening. And
for
it's
autumn
magical.
too, or just for spring?
Just spring.
Because in Shiga, we've got so many parts that we light up ready for autumn as well.
Yeah, for maple trees, yes, we do. But cherry trees, the leaves will turn like brown, reddish brown.
Yeah. Go down here.
Ripiness, yeah? I love these, yes. So colorful, they're almost unreal.
They look edible.
Are you hungry?
I'm a little hungry.
We haven't had breakfast yet.
I said to Eriko, what are we going to do between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m.? And she said breakfast. So I'm excited for a 3-hour breakfast. That sounds good. Someone said lupins.
So,
have a melon pan. Good idea.
Yeah, I love melon pan.
Yeah, me too.
So overall, there are about 1,000 cherry trees surrounding the outer moat of Imperial Palace.
The smell is so good.
Yeah. We are going to see, in a few minutes, we are going to see a boat yard. Okay. You call it boat yard?
Boat yard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dock?
Yes.
Boat yard?
You can rent a boat and paddle on
we got 3 hours after
the
this.
boat.
That sounds great.
But it's not open yet as it's early in the morning, and it tends to get so busy. But just imagine, let's have a look at just imagine seeing cherry blossom.
Sorry, one moment. Sorry. Tina's asked us to slow down a little bit, but we've got a long, long walk, so we're going to be slowing down and stopping occasionally. So please trust us. We're here. We've got it. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, let's stop and admire.
But we appreciate that it would seem a little bit blurry somewhere, but it could also be your internet signal, so just be careful. But we're looking at green 80% signal, so we're good here.
So just imagine seeing cherry blossom from the water level. It's magical. So many cherry trees
looking
here.
Up at them.
Exactly, yeah.
Like snow in the sky.
And as you can see, the branches are just trying to get more sun, hovering over the surface of the water.
Just reaching out.
Yeah. You just feel the power of nature, you know. Everyone wants to get sunshine.
Yeah.
And so that's why, actually.
I found a great sign. I just have to go over to this sign for the sake of the voyagers. They know I've got a condition, but this sign will probably delight them. Sorry, excuse me. No touching, guys.
They are very fragile.
That is the most detailed no touching sign I've ever seen.
Right.
All right. Sorry. So we're on our way to the dock area, and people like to rent boats to look up to the...
So the boatyard was first established in 1950. And at that time, the scenery wasn't very nice around here. I mean, it's very plain, just a moat from 1600s. So they wanted to make the scenery very special for those who enjoy paddling the boat.
Yeah, they have their swan boats.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they planted cherry trees around here. And then look how they came to, paint this whole area.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And it seems like the cherry blossom amount is increasing. There are a lot out here. Thank you very much for the follow, Jessica. We've got some super professional photographers up to the right over there.
I wonder what they are looking at. Maybe birds.
They love swan boats, I think. But yeah, they could be bird watching.
We're gonna have a look at what they are looking at.
Yes, we are. It's a good plan, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Photographers view.
So I often crouch down to get people postcards, and I see people after I've been in that spot crouching, they come and crouch in the same spot as me. Like, what was she looking at? Hi everybody, thanks for being here. Okay, we've got an archway kind of shot. We can get that one. They're going through the big gap, so they want that large trunk to look like it's framing the picture, but they've got the perfect spot, I'm afraid, guys. You can just have the essence of it. But we can snap the
すごいカメラですね。綺麗。綺麗に撮れます？
曇ってますからね。
ああ、そうですね。
wow. He has a mirror on the end of the camera. I wonder what that's for.
Very professional.
Yeah.
For the cloudy day, I think.
Oh, there's rapeseed over here. It's perfectly yellow. And camellia. Lovely. I love the way these camellia flowers just drop. They drop almost looking perfect and then just fall and wait on the ground. It's so lovely. Try and get you guys a nice postcard here.
Oh, this is so pretty, Kendall. With cherry blossom in the background.
I'm trying. And some good old Tokyo traffic in the background too.
Hope you are all having a good time. If you have any questions, you can
asked a question just now.
ask us. Yeah.
So, there's a good shot through there. Someone asked if the emperor ever walks around this area as part of any kind of ceremony or show. But maybe you don't know. That's okay. It's okay not to know everything.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He's got the internal mode. He's got the nice mode.
Exactly. He has his own garden in the palace.
Yeah,
so
right.
He
This
needs
is
to
the
have
poor
lots of
people's
security.
garden on the outside.
So this, the center of Tokyo there used to be, this is the former site of Edo Castle. We don't have the castle anymore. It was built, it was for shogun. But after the feudal era came to end, it turned into the imperial palace, 1868. Yeah, so ever since, this is the residence of imperial family.
Lovely. So it's not a... so in the UK, we have palaces and things, but often the royal family or important people are not actually in those. It's the show home for people to come and take pictures of. And they go there for special ceremonies, but they actually live in much smaller locations. Do the imperial family genuinely live in within this moated area?
So, imperial palace is called Kokyo.
Oh, I love this view.
In Japanese.
Kokyo.
And so it's translated to palace, but it's not really palace because the buildings themselves are not that spectacular.
Okay.
Yes, you can take tour inside the ground of the imperial palace, but the buildings are very plain, I would say. Yes, that makes a lot of people surprised.
I went to some very old merchant houses from Edo period, Japan, about 400 years ago, as well in Omihachiman recently. And the houses were huge, so they were calling them mansions, but not like a block of flats, mansion, like I live in. But it said that the area that the real residents live in is usually quite, is not so special. And then the area for guests to stay in is the really special bit. Which is again complimenting, recognizing the efforts your guests have been through to come and travel to where you are, thanking them. I imagine a little display of showing off as well. Like for the merchants in particular, it's showing how much wealth you have, right? I don't know if that's necessarily in the Japanese way, but
right. There's another palace called Akasaka Palace, and that's for the guests. Okay. And then you can take a tour inside. It's gorgeous. They have two main buildings, Western building and Japanese building, and it's spectacular. Very elaborate.
There's a palace,
but that's for the guests.
There's a palace that I love that it burned down a long time ago, as many buildings in Japan have, but it's next to Nagoya Castle. And so they just finished completing it about 5 years ago, and all of the walls and screens inside are golden with tigers and peacocks and things painted on them. It's incredible. It's just so beautiful. There's a good view. So a couple of people might have been a little bit confused. I didn't catch all of the chat, but yes, this is my channel. My name is Kendall James. You can check me out online as Miss Kendall James for lots of different things. You can go to linktr.ee/MissKendalJames. So this tour is happening on my channel, but myself and Eriko are sharing the tips that we gain for each of the tours that we do together. We're going to split them at the end for some kind of lunch extravaganza, depending how much we get, and yeah, maybe we'll get some more pictures of things like that to share with you too. There's a little bit of sunlight in the background that's just so gorgeous over there. And Eriko, please say a little bit about your channel.
We can show ourselves.
We can show ourselves. I'm feeling like I'm a humidity test. Have we got blossoms behind us? Or else there's no point. Here we are.
Hello, everyone. For those of you joining late, you must be confused.
I'm Eriko and this is Kendall. Yeah.
I'm Kendall from the UK.
Yeah, where am I from? Yeah, so thank you so much for joining our channel. We're still our channel. Thank you very much for joining our channels throughout the day today. We've just got one more with Eriko later. So after this tour ends in about 35 minutes or so we've still got a nice long walk to experience more of the blossoms, then please find us for a Hanami picnic. So Hanami is the appreciation of cherry blossoms, but Japanese people usually like to do it directly under a cherry blossom tree, right?
Yeah,
with a picnic, usually with alcohol, right?
Yeah. So on this tour, we want to show how people in this big city, Tokyo is one of the most densely populated metropolis in the world. How do they enjoy viewing cherry blossom? If you go to countryside, it's much easier, right? They have, very spacious, trees are bigger, but we are in the center of the city, and then there are a lot of business people here.
Yeah, and a lot of retired people with very large cameras.
True.
Yeah, so they must have been great business people to get cameras like that. In the UK, we do something a little bit different by way of appreciating the flowers. It's very traditional to pick up and press the petals and things. So if you find petals and leaves on the ground, you can press them in a flower press. So we would keep them to use for decorative arts and things, or just as a memory.
Lovely.
Yeah, so it's very, very sweet. And some people have, please everyone, you're lovely, but please don't ask me to post you cherry blossoms. I've done it for a few friends before, but it's just a bit too much. I've done it a couple of times my first year here, but if one person finds out you can press and ship cherry blossoms, it just gets out of hand.
I want one.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for sharing Eriko's channel. Yeah, / Eriko for herself and / MissKendalJames for myself. Thank you very much. Shall we carry on walking?
Yeah, this is very special because Kendall traveled all the way to Tokyo
on a night bus.
Yeah. And yesterday we did a tea ceremony together with my mom. And my mom was so happy to see Kendall again.
She gave me 2 snacks afterwards. So I was so happy to see her anyway, of course.
Do you want to talk about when we met for the first time?
Oh my goodness, that's an anecdote and a half. I can't believe it. So, the first time... Oh my goodness. I wanted to tell her, I wanted to let her know that I wasn't staying in Kabukicho again.
Right.
I wanted to, but really I could hear her voice saying, don't do that, you silly, silly girl. Basically, I'd had a great old time going to Disneyland for the first time, and I met some cool people that I was hanging out with the night before at an area that Eriko's mum just quite frankly wouldn't recommend. But by accident, I had misplaced my wallet, which... it turned out was luckily had just fallen down somewhere, which was my first thought. But then I was a bit worried because of where I was staying. I wasn't really in a good area of town, to be honest. I've been there before, to that kind of Shinjuku area. And I've got to say, over the 3 years, it has really changed. But the first time I met Eriko in person and her mum was to go and have a shower at her mum's house. Like, talk about hazukashi. Hazukashikatta. So embarrassed. But it was really bad, guys. I'd been at the police station until 5 a.m. I went in when it was dark and I came out when it was super light. And it was awful. I tried to go to the theatre and I went all the way to the theatre with no wallet, which was very hard to try to explain to people at theatre. That they were like, how can you not have a wallet? That doesn't make sense. I'm going to get a little shot through here. 1 second, I can see some nice blossoms just here. But when I went to the theatre to see this show, I was very, very excited to see with my ticket. I looked at the date on it and I was 1 month early. But they had a showing at exactly the same time. So everybody else was there to see the performance, but the same one I wanted to see. And they said, basically, there's a lot of rules in Japan. You must follow them. You can't just be exchanging tickets on the day and things. And anyone could be lying, right? I definitely wasn't lying. I had a ticket, that I didn't have a wallet. I did really want to watch this show. I had traveled from Shiga. So that was really sad. And I was messaging Eriko, like, you won't believe this. I know we're meeting later today, but I have lost my wallet and now I'm at the theatre and I can't watch the show because I'm a month early. And I haven't had a shower and I don't know what to do. Can I please have a shower at your house? It's like, yeah, come to my mum's house and have a shower. And it's a Japanese house, so a bath was ready too. So not only that, but I had a little bath and a shower. And I was going to have a nap, but there was nothing like the hospitality of Eriko and her family to rejuvenate me. So after that, we just chatted for hours, which was really lovely. So quick and easy friends, nothing like showering at someone's mum's house to make you comfortable.
The first phone call from Kendall, she was crying. You know?
Yeah, big tears, proper crocodile tears, guys.
I was like, oh no, just come over.
I'm just so embarrassed.
And my mom was like, what? You've been to Kabukicho, the drinking district? Like, do not go back.
But worse than that, I was like, yeah, I'm staying there. My mum was very shocked. To be honest, I stayed there many times, but I don't know. Sometimes.
I mean, but it turned out there was no bad guy in the story.
There was no bad guy in the story. The guy was, I'm telling you, he was a bit weird that night. He was inappropriate many times, so it wasn't so absurd that I thought perhaps my wallet had been taken because the guy had just disappeared without saying goodbye. But my wallet was posted back to me about 5 or 6 days later in Shiga. It was found deep. Oh, there's a nice view over here. Deep down in the. It had just fallen to the very, very back of something, basically. And so they shipped it to me, which is lovely.
Yeah, the following day, Kendall got a phone call from unknown number, yeah? And so she answered and someone speaking Japanese, so
I was so stressed. Like, normally I could handle the phone call in Japanese, actually, but I was so stressed I could barely English, let alone Japanese.
Yeah. And then that turned out to be a bartender at the bar she went to. And then he... after he closed the bar and turned the light, up.
Yeah, he was cleaning up behind everything. So he was moving furniture and he found it.
Yes, he found it.
Amazing. They're all taking pictures down this way, so I think we should follow their lead. And
definitely.
Look, I love this. Japanese people love bringing their babies and dogs and occasionally cats to have their pictures taken in front of cherry blossoms, and it's just the sweetest thing.
He's so smart.
Yeah, and just a puppy. A baby one.
Maybe Shiba dog.
I think so. I saw an amazing cross Shiba husky the other day. Oh. It was gorgeous. So usually Japanese people have very small dogs, but occasionally you see one with a very big one. And for me, it's really nostalgic because people often have much bigger dogs in the UK. すみません。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。It's very kind.
I love the swan boat.
Me too. We have, so I am from Bristol in the UK, but I lived in Portsmouth in the UK for 12 years. We have something called Canoe Lake, and everyone can pedal these around in Canoe Lake. Yeah, swan boats. Tish said duck boats. Is there a duck one too? Cute. Yeah, swan boats here. Look at their eyelashes. Let me go up close. It's cute. Attention to detail there. Can you see the little eyelashes? So cute. Tish says, still learning my waterfowl. So lovely.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。 It's clear these are puppies now because it looks like they're trying to get them to behave. Thank you, Laurie, and everyone else who's been tipping and reviewing. Thank you very much, and following. Oh, they're so cute.
Lovely. It's like everything has woken up, you know? It's springtime. Let's come into bloom.
So lovely. And I love the candy colors as well.
Kendall, this is early blooming cherry blossom that have large pink petals.
I'm finished.
They are replaced with very lush, clean leaves.
And you can see the ends of the blossoms that were there before. Yeah, the candy-coloured flowers are called lupins. Okay, now which way are we turning now? About to do a microphone dance. I'm controlling, so Kendall here controlling just in case you thought our voices were exactly the same. Kendall here, I'm controlling
Your
the camera.
English is very good, Kendall.
Oh, thank you very much. Heygo Joe's in it. So I had the best response to my Japanese being spoken about 4 days ago. So there's things people are always going to ask me. Dochira kuni? They want to know where I'm from. And so I reply incredibly fluently for quite a lot of very common questions. This guy's response was not Nihongo Jozu like usual. He fell over. He's like, oh my goodness, that was amazing. And he just fell over, like mock fell over. But he couldn't believe I'd spoken such clear Japanese. And I was like, that's what I want. I want people falling over all around me. That's my goal. That's how I know my Japanese is so good.
That's the best compliment.
I know. Go ahead, fall. I'll start carrying cushions around just for people falling over as my Japanese improves.
Yeah, we don't really expect foreign visitors to speak Japanese.
So in Tokyo, I'm getting caught off guard so often because I was trying to reassure my voyagers yesterday. I was saying, if you come to Tokyo and you don't speak any Japanese, actually you are going to be more comfortable because a lot of shopkeepers and things, they at least have basic survival English. And because they're so used to saying, please come again, do you want a bag? Thank you very much. They're very fluent at those phrases. Like the amount of times I used to go around Japan incredibly fluently saying, I don't speak Japanese. They're like, do you not? Because it sounds like you do. So sometimes people say, I'm sorry, I don't speak English, but they say it perfectly. So you think, really? Really? Whatever you practice, you'll get good at, basically. Good smell. JB would like to know how old the cherry trees are, and Abe says the cherry blossoms are inspiring me.
I think that's the weather forecast going on.
It's the cherry blossom forecast.
Yeah.
What do we do in the background?
We need to step.
It's going to be us. Guys, you're going to be on national TV. Everybody get ready to wave, okay? We've got a couple of minutes until national TV comes by. So all around Japan, the cherry blossom season is so important. But as Eriko said, it is incredibly fleeting. So that means 2 years ago, we only had 5 days to enjoy them because there was such wind and rain that they just disappeared. It was a little bit heartbreaking because we anticipate them for so long. But basically, every city, every area, there is a forecast, and it tells you when they're in bud and when they're in half bloom and full bloom. So she's very excitedly doing a Hanami forecast. But are we going to be on the TV? What are you going to do?
The weather forecast, she's explaining, where you can enjoy cherry blossom viewing. So cute.
So cute. Mechcha kawaii.
We need that light and...
We do. She looks gorgeous. The moment that light went onto her face, she looks extra gorgeous. We need some of that. Like yesterday in the tea room, we looked a bit blurry, but outside, that's a gorgeous picture I got of us. TV in Japan, yeah, it's very like this. I think a lady just whispered in the ears of the two people sitting there. She just said, please keep looking at the blossoms. Yeah, that light is working wonders. She's very animated. It's very Japanese to have that super peppy appeal. It's kind of like a morning TV show on any TV show, always. Amazing. So we just like scroll through the past. So we say we take 200 people from around the world. That's so funny. They've made it look like natural people are hanging out there. That is so brilliant. Look at this. I'm going to give you a little zoom. So the people with the pink and green, they look like they're just natural pastel-colored people hanging out in the park. Fancy that. A Japanese guy with an afro and a lovely-looking lady just there like that, but with earpieces and radios behind them. Amazing. And he's just out here with a pink dicky bow tie on. Of course.
Of course.
さすが日本人. Of course. Oh, this is soft lighting for the evening.
Yeah.
How nice. And Eriko, where are we going later for the Hanami picnic we're going to attempt?
So on this tour, we are walking along this walkway along the moat, right? And the next one, next tour, we are going to take you to my favorite garden for cherry blossom viewing in Tokyo. It's called Koishikawa Botanical Garden. And it's we're going to see cherry blossom in full bloom, but in a very different setting. We might be able to enjoy Hanami picnic under the cherry trees.
Yeah. And a Hanami picnic is usually snacks and alcohol, right?
Yeah, exactly. About cherry trees, sorry, how old are these trees? So you see, for example, this one is pretty young, but there are 260 cherry trees along this walk path along, and they are planted right after the boatyard opened. You want to turn around, maybe?
Yeah.
To show the cherry trees? Yeah, so they were planted right after the boatyard was opened in 1950. So the oldest tree here is about 67 years old, and many of
pretty young, I think.
Yeah, many of them planted in the following years. And this type of cherry tree is called Somei Yoshino.
It's the most common type, right?
Exactly, the main variety of cherry trees, and they lifespan of Somei Yoshino is said to be between 60 years and 100 years. But there are actually so many cherry trees, Somei Yoshino cherry trees that are over 100 years old when they are well taken care of in a good environment. So I hope we get to enjoy this gorgeous blossom for as long as, possible.
They're already falling though. The petals are falling. Someone has asked if the branches are trained. I imagine not.
No. That they are all natural.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's 7:43 in Tokyo right now, Japan Standard Time. The same time all around Japan. It's not so big. Not so big.
So branches are naturally extending over the surface of the water to try to get the sun. So they are not trained.
And even when they grow too far in the wrong direction and look like they're getting fragile, it's much more common for the local council to come and prop up the tree with wooden supports rather than cut part of the tree. In fact, you rarely see bits cut, but there are some that are cut around here. So how interesting. It looks like they've cut the bit that would have gone up here, but they've allowed it to grow out. In the UK, that growing out bit is the bit they'd prevent, because that would be the bit that could fall on someone,
right?
Especially in really bad weather. There's a lot of health and safety concerns in the UK. Thank you for the tip, Julia.
There is an old saying in Japanese, sakura kiru baka, ume kiranu baka. What that means is that a full cut cherry trees, a full doesn't cut plum trees. So what it means is that, it's very hard to cut cherry trees because they tend to get disease infection from the cut end. So, yeah, they are all the trees here have number on it, and they have been, taken care of.
It's a hard lesson to learn, right?
Yeah.
I normally do my first ever tour, and a classic tour of mine is of Hiraoka Shrine in East Osaka next to Ikoma Mountain. And there's a park next to it. And all of the trees there are just 3 years old. They've had to plant new cherry and plum groves because 10 years ago, all of the trees got a wood rot. So the biggest ones, the strongest ones that are clearly 100 or more years old because of their size, they're fine. But all the others just had to be taken out because it can affect the soil in the long run as well.
Now we're going to cross this busy street. And on the other side, there is beautiful cherry trees, different variety.
A weeping one. Thank you very much, Donna and Shira. So we're together for just over 10 more minutes. So we've got 13 or 14 more minutes. If you've got any questions you would like to ask either myself, Kendall, or Eriko, then please do. But we're so grateful to have so many of you here with us. Personally, I don't usually wake up at this time and do tours at this time, so I can't usually catch most of you. But if you are in the UK, you will find me doing tours at night that will suit you. For example, if you're in Europe or the UK, you might like to come to Harajuku with me later. And I think it's going to rain, which I am calling fortuitous because Shinjuku and Harajuku look so cool in the rain at night. They just look amazing. So come and join me for those if you like. And Eriko has regular origami classes on Heygo, as well as complimentary YouTube videos as well. In fact, we both have complimentary YouTube videos. So do check us out. Look at these. Dahlia asks how long I'm staying with you. Well, I'm not staying with Eriko, but we are hanging out today for a good amount of hours until the afternoon. So from early morning till afternoon. And we met up yesterday as well. Ginny would like to know if pollution levels are high in Tokyo.
A lot of people come to Tokyo and surprise how clean the air is. So for a city as big as Tokyo, the air is not too bad at all.
Especially for an Asian city as big as Tokyo and one that is so densely populated. Yeah, it's not as bad as you'd expect. Maybe we don't have the figure, but it's definitely not as bad as you'd expect.
Right, but it wasn't always like this. So when it's so pretty. When the economy was growing rapidly back in 60s and 70s, the air was so bad. So, back in those days, you could do anything, but, now they learned it and, fixed it. So the air is, not bad at all.
So I'm geekily interested in city planning and environmental issues, and especially pollution matters a lot to me as well. And I've noticed that around Japan, around major roadsides, they often have this low foliage that comes up to just over here, it comes up to your knee or up to your hip. Or if you're Japanese, maybe your shoulder, as we're seeing.
True.
Me and Eriko are tall, almost the same height, but quite tall. So up to our knees and hips. But I don't know if you knew this, but having trees planted alongside a road is very good. The trees collect the pollution. But better than that, and more important for the protection of humans, is having foliage that is at that level that the people are at, that the cars are at. So that's all around Japan, which has got to be helping the air quality significantly. Yes, they do wear masks because of pollen allergies, but me and Eriko aren't convinced those are actually really helping people. But whatever makes them comfortable. Are you proud of me, Eriko? I'm not wearing my mask today.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yesterday we were talking about wearing a mask, and she said, you are uncomfortable removing a mask, yeah?
But the reason is because people are already looking at me. It's a bit different in Tokyo because there are already foreign people here. But
I told her it's natural to look at beautiful women.
Not yet. Oh, there's nice ones up over there.
This is
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I'm not sure. I can be wrong. There's a British embassy along this street, and the cherry tree is planted in front of it. That should be the oldest one in this area, 150 years old.
Oh, really? So my partner once took me to a Japanese inn, a ryokan, and he was so excited. He said, Kendo, guess what? This house is 180 years old. And I was like, that's great. But I'm from the UK. I think my house is 180 years old. In Japan, the buildings are wooden, so it's exceptional for them to get to be so old. Of course, not all of them, but traditionally, the main frames of many of them are wood. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the tip.
Let's cross here again.
We're going to cross here, okay.
And going back to the north. So along the Imperial Palace is 5K. And this is easy to measure, so there are a lot of runners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The most common exercise is to go for jog, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of people running.
I think so. I'm not going to do that. I'm literally wearing running shoes, but I'm not going to do that. No. I met a nice lady from America yesterday when I went to have coffee, and I don't normally drink coffee. Please don't give me coffee. I went to have coffee because it was the breakfast that came with the place that I was staying. And she was there alone because her friend had gone out running. Now, I met both of them in the evening, and I went to show them the art aquarium. I tried to be a good ambassador for Japan and show people around. And her friend regretted it. He just went running because he saw the running shoes and he thought it was a good idea. And he's like, no, it wasn't a good idea. I'm not going to do that again. What do you say? Are you a runner?
No.
No. Yeah, the moat, the circle walkway, the outside moat is 5 kilometers, you say?
5, yeah.
Yeah.
5 kilometers, 3 miles.
Exactly, Hayward. Yeah, no earthquakes in the UK either. They're so energetic. So in Shiga, in the east part of Osaka, where I am quite often, there are so many mountains and hills. People go jogging up them very energetically. I don't know how they do it. Up and down them. Amazing. Hands up in the chat if you're a runner. I see a tumbleweed.
So the pathway we walked through was quite narrow, yeah? And not many people come to this side of the moat, and which is much more quieter. Yeah, much quieter, yes.
It's lovely. I just noticed the sign back there that said, you are allowed to have Hanami picnics here. And actually, it's the first year in 3 years that anyone has been officially allowed to have a Hanami picnic. If you tried doing it in the last few years, you would have been quietly moved along, depending on the situation. If you do it in Tokyo, it basically starts off a Mexican wave of picnics. So one person isn't allowed to do it because everyone will think it's fine. But in Shiga, last year, people were cautiously having some picnics under the blossoms. But of course, capital city, more chances. Oh, smells so good. More chances of getting the vid. Thank you, Michelle, for your tip. What's blown your mind, Tina, the not being allowed to have a picnic? And as with many things in Japan, they're mostly strong suggestions rather than legal rules. Whereas in the UK, there we go, it's all right. My phone's a little strange, but it will get there in the end. In the UK, I remember my friends and family saying that if they were crossing into the wrong area, like not somewhere that they work or live, they would actually get fined if they were traveling during the high pandemic moments. Thank you very much, Carol, for the tip. And someone earlier asked, I just remembered having seen it, they asked if we're coming back at night. I'm not. Will you ever be coming back at night to this spot for a Heygo tour, or is it not in your schedule this year?
Not in my schedule, but even in front of my house, there's a park and pathway lined with cherry trees. They are lit up this year.
Oh, lovely.
And I might do a quick tour in the evening. But
Nice idea.
yeah, but Japan, nighttime in Japan is, not good for anyone.
Really?
Right?
Ah.
8 p.m., 9 p.m.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, it is and it isn't, but yeah, we don't usually get such big numbers on our tours on Heygo because most people watching are in. But there's a lot of people in America and Canada, but most people are in the UK. So yeah, it's difficult sometimes. Got to do the time versus money equation. There's so many blossoms have fallen here. Right, this is very cute. I'm pretty sure this is for trash, litter, if people have picnics, right?
Yes.
But right now it looks like it's trying to catch the blossoms.
Oh, right.
How cute.
Blossom container.
It smells so nice under here. Let me see. So everybody, we've just got 4 minutes left until we've finished with this lovely tour today. So thank you so much for hanging out with myself and Eriko. Please do consider following both of us if you haven't already. All of our tips will be shared between us, and you can check us both out on Heygo and YouTube. Is your YouTube channel the same name?
Eriko Origami Room.
Sorry, Tina wants me to show the petals in the water, but there aren't petals in the water. Are there?
Not
No.
on this side.
There were in a few places, but not right here. My mummy tips. Thank you, mummy. My mummy was my first sponsor as well.
Thank you so much.
If anyone fancies becoming my sponsor, then I actually get 75% of those sponsorships. And you also get lots of other things, including hand-painted seasonal cards from me, which will include cherry blossoms soon. So thank you. Lu Ann says, arigatou gozaimasu.
The building over there,
Ooh, that interesting one that looks like a pyramid.
that's Houses of Parliament. 国会議事堂.
国会議事堂. I couldn't. What?
国会議事堂.
国会議事堂.議事堂.
Yes.
国会Oh my goodness. 議事堂. 国会議事堂. Oh my goodness.難しかった.
Can you read this as well?
Houses of Parliament. Yeah, your pronunciation was perfect. Lovely. Thank you very much. Ken has been sharing both of our links, so thank you ever so much. We just have 2 minutes left, so if you've got any questions, I was going to say presents. If you've got any presents for us, then we're accepting presents. I'm always accepting presents. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. I hope that you had a lovely time and you got a real sense of Hanami feeling, cherry blossom viewing here in Japan. And let's see. That's my mommy. Caroline J.
Caroline, thank you so
Hi,
much.
mommy.
ありがとうございます、お母さん。
Okasan for mummy. I look much more relaxed. Yeah, but I only had 4 hours sleep, so I don't. Not so good. So beautiful. I would like to get a close up of cherry blossoms for a finishing, and for Tina, we can at very least show these blossoms on the ground, but they're not in the water often or much yet.
Yeah, but
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Tina, it's right. This place is very popular when cherry blossom are coming to an end.
It must be.
Yeah, when the petals are dancing in the wind, covering the surface of the water.
Yeah.
It's like pink lake.
It's lovely. I love going to Tetsugaki no Michi in Kyoto, where I'll be taking people. In fact, the cherry blossoms will not last more than another week in Tokyo. In fact, another 3 or 4 days maximum. But please join me in Shiga for some incredible locations. I've got some very big cherry blossom tours coming where I'll only be doing one or 2 tours in that day because the distance I'll be traveling is quite far. But I'll be taking you to places that haven't been seen yet on Heygo, especially not during that season. So please consider joining me. I know the timings won't work for everybody, but if you check me out on YouTube as well, then you can see lots of things retrospectively, because I post uncut tours on there. I also post edited videos, so there'll be a lovely one that will probably have a little Eriko in it somewhere coming up soon. And if you check me out on linktr.ee/MissKendalJames, then you can also find my Etsy shop, and I have a cherry blossom and plum blossom postcard that you can see there as well. And someone had a question we might have missed earlier, so I'm going to find it. So someone said there was do they last longer in Shiga? Yeah, because it's a little cooler in Shiga, but also they start much later. Wow, so beautiful down here. Just a second, I'm finding the question. Was there one question that we missed, guys? If you don't mind typing it again, that would be wonderful. A Ms. something had it. Lovely. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Ting received a card from me today. How lovely. Thank you. And thank you all for your tips. You've been very kind. The smell around here is so lovely. I think it smells like lovely grandmothers. Oh, so Laurie has mentioned the question that someone asked earlier. They wanted to know if the white and pink blossoms are from the same tree. I've shown people pictures of blossoms that are the same, are pink and white on the same tree, which has just been lovely. But what have you got to say about that?
So they are from different tree. So the one we see over here.
I'll just spin them around as carefully as I can.
So this is the main variety of cherry tree called Yoshino, Somei Yoshino. So 80% of all the cherry trees in Japan are Somei Yoshino tree. This white petal, like pale pink petals.
Get a little closer.
Yes.
For the finishing shot as well.
And they don't pollinate, so they don't produce seeds or bear fruits, and they are grafted. They are cloned from the same gene, cut and grafted. So that's why they pretty much come in bloom at the same time.
I'll just do a spelling for you. Tina asks how to spell that. That's Yoshino cherry, right?
Yes.
Yoshino, Y-O. Oh, excellent. Y-O-O-O, would I say it when it's right here? Yoshino. Lovely, everybody. Thank you so much.
This is the one we saw earlier.
And this one can look very pink and white on the same plant, can't it?
Yeah.
Which looks like pink and white marshmallows in the UK, I think. They're from the rose family. I'm going to get you an overview of this as well, and then we'll say goodbye. So thank you all very, very much. You've been lovely. I'm honored to get to have the popularity of Eriko and the time zone of the earliness, so that I could have such a big number of people on my tour. That's got to be the most ever. So thank you so much for joining us. Have we got blossoms behind us? We can get a little goodbye view here.
Yeah. Okay.
Lovely. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much for enjoying cherry blossom viewing with us. It's been so much fun. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもありがとうございます。Bye bye.
See you soon.
My mummy gives a heart.
Aww,
Bye.
so lovely. またね